All right, welcome back, everybody. Dave, ABQ, SC, and C. It is draft time, baby. Draft time. End of year two. We were ousted in the first round of the playoffs against the Cowboys. We lost a couple players due to retirement and not signing them. So just going to go over the roster right now to show what's going on with our team before we signed on a little early, as I was planning on going on at 11 Mountain Time. So just getting on a little early just so can make sure I'm on in time for everybody to watch. If you're catching us on the replay, we are playing Madden 19, rebuilding the New York Giants. This is the end of year number 2. As you can see on the screen, we had a $4 million dead money cap penalty due from trades that we traded players away and money that we still owe players. We have $34.9 million in cap space and a $19.1 million rookie reserve for our draft picks this year. Last year's draft pick is Jackson Haley. He got all the way up to an 89 after starting out, I believe, 78 in the beginning of the year. Still on his rookie deal. 3 more years to go for him before he is definitely going to want to get paid. We have Lauletta, Barrett, and Cook. Barrett was on the practice squad. We signed him. We usually only keep 3 quarterbacks. I picked up Cook because he's out of Michigan State for C. Rogers. Halfbacks, we have Barkley and Gallman. Gallman's on the last year of his deal next year. So we'll see if we're going to keep him or not. We will need another running back once we hit free agency. We picked up Ty Montgomery last year. He was okay, but we just signed him for a 1-year deal. We just need somebody like in an 80, just in case Barkley goes down, as we use him a lot. So sometimes he does get hurt. He's been out 4 games, I think, every season so far this year. Barkley's coming up on his deal in a couple years. He's definitely going to want to get paid also. And we'll see how much Gallman wants before we decide what we're going to do with him. Penny, we signed him long-term last year. He's a 71, only 27 years old. We're not doing anything else at fullback. Penny is our guy. So we lost Lacey and Davis as our bottom 2 wide receivers, but we have OBJ, who we signed long-term. Humphreys and Wilson we signed as free agents last year. They are both 80s. And Quandre Henderson and D. Gross are our last 2 guys, both at 63s. Tight ends we're good at right now. Evan Ingram on the last year of his deal. He's going to want to get paid next year as he is an 88. Will Ty, he's probably going to want a little higher than Will Ty money, but I think he's worth it. He's him, OBJ, and Barkley are the cornerstones of our offense right now. We're throwing to Ingram a lot. Ellison's 31. Last year of his deal coming up. We are not paying him again. Offensive line, this is where we've needed the most help. We signed Lofton as a rookie last year. He was an 80. He got up to an 82. We have him for a few more years before he wants to get paid. Salter's getting paid ridiculous amounts of money for only being a 70. So I don't think he's tradable. So we're just going to have to eat his money. He is our 3rd backup lineman at this point. We're just he's dead money to us. Like we were using him at right tackle, but I'll show you what we're doing on that now. So we signed Siddons for 1 year. Siddons an 81. He is going to move into the starting right tackle spot. We're going to keep Hernandez at left guard. So Siddon is at right tackle. Our 2 Pulley's our starting center. Jalapio's our backup center. Right guard is Muhort. Muhort is like he hasn't been outstanding, but he's been solid. He's stayed at a 79 the whole time we've had him. And right tackle is Dotson. We signed him on a 1-year deal in free agency also. and he's going to be our primary backup on all the positions. So if anybody gets hurt, Dotson is our first backup, Salder is our second backup, and him and Sidden only signed 1-year deals, so we're definitely going to need some rookies to take their places after this year, as they're both in their 30s. The end positions, Hendrickson's on the last year of his deal. He is a 79, so it's going to be interesting to see if we decide to keep him or not. We have tried to sign some free agents at 80s or 90s, like we tried to go after Bosa this year. He did not sign with us, so right now Hendrickson's on the last year of his deal. Edwards is backing him up, but I don't really use him a whole lot. On the other side is BJ Hill. He's got a couple years left. We signed Akwara, so Akwara is backing these guys up, with Mann being the second backup. Defensive tackles. Tomlinson's on the last year of his deal. He is an 89. He is going to want to get paid probably more than Onyemata is, which is why we've been trying to save cap space. Just going after a couple guys that we really need in free agency, not really signing a whole lot of them, as everybody wants to either go to the Cowboys or the Raiders. But Tomlinson is on the last year of his deal. He's been solid for us. I think he led the team in sacks last year with 11.5 sacks. Onyemata is good as a run stopper. And Poona Ford, we signed as a free agent last year. He is a 77 and a very serviceable backup. Linebackers are definitely where we need the help. Porter was our first pick in the draft last year. He's been solid at an 80. Gruger Hill we signed as a free agent. He's going to fill in this year. Hopefully we can find some rookies to help these guys out. Carter has been backing everybody up. He's been pretty solid for us as well, getting turnovers. But Gruger Hill is going to start at the right outside linebacker spot if we cannot find anybody in the draft that is ranked higher than him. If we find anybody ranked higher than him, he will be the backup for everybody as well. Middle linebacker is where we are hurting, as Navarro Bowman has been slowly declining every year. He is now a 74. I believe he was a 78 when we first got him. He's in the last year of his deal, so more than likely we are not going to be re-signing Navarro Bowman. So we definitely need some linebackers in the draft to be able to shore it up. As we signed Lee, we got him off a trade, and we signed Lee long term. But with Bowman being gone next year, we're definitely going to need somebody to fill in at linebacker. Right outside linebacker are these guys. Like I said, Gruger Hill is going to shift over and be the right outside linebacker. So we really don't have any decent backups. So we're definitely going to need to draft some linebackers. If you caught our pre-draft show, you'll see what we have in mind. Hopefully we'll be able to do that. At cornerback, Janoris Jenkins is on the last year of his deal, making $10.6 million. I actually have Haley above him in the depth chart, as Haley has been playing fantastic. We are not going to keep Janoris Jenkins, so I'm still deciding whether or not we want to trade him or just get rid of him at the end of the year. I think we'll just get rid of him at the end of the year, as if we trade him, that leaves us with 67s and 65s, backing everybody up. So at least if we keep Jenkins, he'll be serviceable for the 1 year, not re-signing him at all. But Trevor Williams, we traded for him first year. He's been solid for us. Terrence Mitchell we got after free agency last year. And Haley has been on the team since the beginning. He's been slowly moving up, as I think he started as like a 73. Free safety is Bannister out of New Mexico. I just got him because he was in New Mexico and we needed somebody to fill the free safety spot. Strong safety, we have Collins. Howell's on the last year of his deal. We traded for him in year 1. For us, we drafted Wolfwork last year in like the 3rd round. So more than likely we will sign Howell for a couple years, unless we can find a superstar safety in the draft this year. It's still going to be a big drop, as anybody we get in the draft is only going to be around an 80. But if we can find a star or a superstar in the draft, they're going to move up quick, and we won't be missing Hal as much. But if we miss out in the draft on a superstar or a star safety, we're probably going to end up re-signing Hal and keeping Woolfolk. But Woolfolk backs up both positions, with Bannister being the second one. How to serve? We are getting ready for the draft, just going over our roster right now. We have 4 first-round draft picks at the end of year 2. We had 3 first-round draft picks last year, 4 first-round draft picks this year, and 3 more first-round draft picks the year after. Rosas we let go last year, but we re-signed him in free agency, and we got rid of our punter Dixon and signed Borquez out of New Mexico. Dixon was a 79. He started playing really well after we told him we were not going to re-sign him, as I picked up Borquez. Borquez is 24 and a 72, so he's not too horrible. He will get better as we move along. We don't punt a whole lot, so not really too worried about it. Right now our offense is an 87. The defense is the part where we struggle. They are a 77. We can score points, but we give up a lot of points as well. We are overall an 82, looking to upgrade that. Haley had a fantastic year, throwing for over 5,000 yards. And that was it. We signed a couple of one-year deals on some linemen to shore up our offensive line. And we are going to be entering the draft here. I told everybody 11 a.m. So we're going to enter the draft. We're going to pause it for a second just to see what's going on. It is the 2020 NFL Draft. The end of year number 2 for us. We'll be heading into year number 3.
The Bills are now on the clock.
We're going to pause the draft and look at the board real quick. The Bills are on the clock. They are, well, if they don't take Connor Vaughn, they are crazy, because Connor Vaughn is an A+, B+, and B+. At one point, we did have the second pick in the draft, so I was really debating on whether or not we should take Connor Vaughn or not. But those are our picks. We have the 5th, 6th, 16th, 21st, and 11th pick in the second round. So for us right now, Joseph Lloyd, and a bunch of other guys are the ones that we want. Christopher Gibson, Dixon Berry. So if Lloyd is not there, we're going to go Christopher Gibson and then Dixon Berry. Dixon Berry was originally projected as a second-round pick, but he has propelled himself up to number 1. I do not want to miss out on a good middle linebacker. Gibson did not go to the combine, so I'm really worried about that. Hopefully Lloyd will be there at 5. So that's the plan. The plan is to go 5 with Lloyd, 6 with Berry, 16 for Gibson. 21 is either going to be Zuda or Brewer. I want to go Brewer. And then Curtis Elliott wants us to go safety with our second round pick. So Ponder's out there and Shader there. Ponder has the better stats here, and we need a free safety. Hit power is A-, tackles B+, pursuit is B. Ponder is looking like the guy. He's average in the draft. He's 23. Shade is another free safety who was first in almost everything for the free safeties. 23 hybrid out of Miami. So I'm thinking Shade. Munnerlyn is still here as well. Munnerlyn was first for all the strong safeties as well. So I'm thinking Munnerlyn or Shade is who we're going to take second round. So we'll see who's still around. I'm hoping that Lloyd will be there, but we'll see how it goes. Let's go back to available here. And more than likely, the Bills are going to take Connor Vaughn. We're hoping Joseph Lloyd holds out till the 5th pick. If he does not, Gibson is, where's Gibson at? Gibson's all the way here at 21. He is projected to be a late first rounder. So the question is, if Lloyd's gone, do we take a defensive end? This guy ranked first or second in 3 things. Foster's here. He ranked first or third in a bunch of things. Clancy's here. First or third in 4 things, but he's 23 out of Clemson. So that's the decision we need to make. There's wide receivers as well. So I'm going to back out. We're going to see who Buffalo picks, and we're going to hope. After each pick, we're going to review if our guys are still up there or not. So you can see it goes Buffalo, Cardinals, 49ers, Jets, and then our 2 New York Giant picks. We're hoping none of our guys are gone. Here we go. First pick is Buffalo. Let's see who they take. Clock is ticking on Buffalo. This is the 2020 NFL Draft after year 2 of our rebuild. Bills are on the clock here.
The Cardinals are now on.
Connor Vaughn, an 85. That is the highest I have ever seen anybody in the draft. Connor Vaughn ends up being an 85. I knew he was going to be fantastic with those stats. So the Cardinals are currently on the clock. We're going to go back and look at the board. Connor Vaughn, an 85. That is outstanding. Best I've ever seen anybody in the draft. So Connor Vaughn is definitely going to be fantastic in this league. If he is not a superstar, I will be amazed. Alright, so we're still hoping for Lloyd to make it to 5th. Fingers crossed, everybody, that Lloyd makes it to 5th, as that is who we are looking to get. We're going to go back out, and we are going to see who the Cardinals pick at number 2. I think it sucks it doesn't give me the option to try to trade up. You only get to trade once your pick is there, so let's see what happens. Arizona Cardinals on the clock. Connor Vaughn going first to the Buffalo Bills at an 85. Cardinals currently on the clock. Let's see if they pick one of the guys we had on our board.
The 49ers.
Joseph Lloyd was an 80. They took Joseph Lloyd. Uh-oh. Right outside linebacker out of Georgia. So we have decisions to make as they took one of the guys we wanted. Joseph Lloyd is off the board. I'm digging Munnerlyn. So we may end up taking our safety, as the first guy we wanted for 6 is all the way down here. There he is right there. Dixon Berry is all the way down at number 43. I'm really reaching for him, but I don't want anybody to take him before we get a chance to, as we need another good middle linebacker. So we may end up switching our stuff around, as Gibson's right there. We're hoping Gibson lasts till 16. I doubt he's going to, so we're going to probably take Gibson and then Berry. Hubbard is here. Hubbard was decent. He was 5th and everything. Oh man, do we just go with... See, so this is the quandary we put ourselves in by doing that. Hubbard's at 12. He was 5th and everything, so he's all around really good. Gibson's here at 19. A minus, B plus, B plus, 21 out of Georgia. And then the guy we're going 6th with is all the way down here at 43. Dixon Berry, B plus, but he's 1st or 2nd in everything. So San Francisco has pick number 3. I think we wait and see who they take, as Joseph Lloyd is off the board at an 80. San Francisco is on the clock. Who will the 49ers take as their pick? Do they take another one of our guys?
The Jets are now on the clock.
Max Summers, right end, was another one that we had start up there. He is an 81. He is the right end out of Ole Miss. So yeah, all of our guys with stars are getting picked. The Jets have pick number 4 before we get to our pick. So it's Hubbard or Gibson. Hubbard had a 7.1 at the combine, B plus, B, B, while Gibson is an A minus, B plus, B plus. So we're going to be reaching with both of our players, as we're going to be taking Gibson and Berry, but cannot miss out on linebackers. We missed out on linebackers last year. All the linebackers we wanted last year were gone, so we have to get linebackers this year. Jets are going to be on the clock. Who will they take? They can't take both of the guys we want, so we're definitely going to get one of them. If Barry's only like a 70-something, we are going to be in trouble next year.
The Giants are now on the clock.
They took Hubbard, so it took the decision out of my hands. Hubbard is an 81. We're just going to see what the trades are. We're not going to make any trades, but we're going to review them just to see what's out there. 2 second-round picks and a 3rd pick. Get out of here, Johnny Waldeck's Bengals. Get out of here with that. Seahawks are at least a 1st rounder for next year. Washington's given up 2 second rounders. The Raiders want to give up a 1st rounder for next year and a 4th rounder for next year. There are no good options here. Cowboys want a next year's 1st rounder. Yeah, we're not trading this pick because these are trash offers right here. So we're going to make our selection. It is going to be Gibson, as Hubbard was taking the decision right out of our hands here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go Gibson, and then we are going to go number 43, stretching it out, but we have to, as we need linebackers. Dixon Berry. Like the draft people are going to think we're nuts, but that's what we're doing. We're going to go Christopher Gibson. Please be good. Here we go, Christopher Gibson. Skip the draft. He is 21, out of Georgia, 6 foot, 248 pounds. This is who we're going to be dialing up right here.
The Giants are now on the clock.
Is ranked number 2 in true talent, and we drafted him at number 5. He is an 83. Get out of here. He is only a quick, though. He is not a star or a superstar, but he is ranked at 83. What? I thought Connor Vaughn was ranked super high. I've never seen an 83 either. Usually it's 80, 81, 79, or 78. He is an 83 at run stopper, 74 speed rusher, 74 pass coverage, and a 72 power rusher. He has an 86 tackle, 90 hit power, 84 speed. His awareness is only 66. He is not a power guy, as his power moves are 58. But he's an 83 at block shedding, 95 stamina, and a 94 injury. I will definitely take that. 84 toughness and an 83 agility. So, boom. We got ourselves our outside linebacker of the future here. Hopefully with number 6 we can get our middle linebacker of the future. He's not fantastic as he's just a quick, but he was the second-ranked player in the draft, and we drafted him at number 5. So we're hoping we get some more draft magic with Barry. The only other better person in here was Connor Vaughn, and there's no way we were getting him as he went first. So that's our guy, Christopher Gibson. He's going to be number 41 for the New York Giants. That is our pick. We are on the clock for pick number 6. We're going to see what the offers were for pick number 6. Pretty much the same thing. Everybody just wants to give up second rounders. New Orleans, the only one giving up a first round pick, and that is pick number 29, as well as next year's third rounder. The Rams just want to trade picks. Get out of here, Los Angeles Rams. They want to go from 28 to 6 and not give up anything extra. What kind of offer is that? You're killing me, Los Angeles. Everybody else is doing second rounders, except for the Cowboys, who do a first rounder for next year. Yeah, we're not doing that. We are stretching on this one, but we need to shore up our linebackers. We need to shore up our offensive line as well, but we're taking care of that at pick number 16. So here we go. We took Gibson, took a chance on Gibson as he did not participate in the draft. There's another linebacker. Brewer is the offensive lineman we want to take. But we're not going to take him right now. We are going to take Dixon Berry, middle linebacker, Penn State. First or second in the combine for all middle linebackers in every category. B plus in pursuit, B in tackle, B in block shedding. He was originally projected as a second round pick, a middle second rounder. Now he is projected as a late first rounder, but we need to take this guy as he might not be around later on. 6'2", 244 pounds, 21 years old. Here we go. This is who we're picking at pick number 6. We are reaching here. Hopefully it'll be okay. Here we go.
The Colts are now on the clock.
He is ranked 20 in true talent. We drafted him at 6. He is only a 79, but he is a quick. So I'm happy with that, actually, as he might not have been there at 16, as somebody might have reached for him before that. So we needed our linebackers. He is going to plug into the starting linebacker above Deron Lee and get his experience up. So while they think we reached, we knew we were reaching, but we needed to take him. Let's see what his stats are. He's a 79 run stopper, 77 field general, and 75 at pass coverage. His ratings, 95 stamina. His injury is 86. So it's a good thing we signed Deron Lee long term, as this guy might get hurt every now and then. He has an 85 agility. Speed is 85, tackles 84, block shedding 83. He's mid to high 80s in most of his stuff. He's only going to get better as he is 21 years old. So his stats are going to improve, and he is going to cornerstone our middle linebackers with Deron Lee. So we reached, we knew we were reaching, but we needed to pick this guy as we missed out on linebackers last year. Did not want him to be gone before we got to him. So we're going to resume the draft. We're going to see who everybody else takes. But we got our 2 linebackers, Gibson and Berry. We just got to see if any of our other guys are going to be gone. We're looking for Munnerlyn to still be around at safety, and Brewer as an offensive lineman. Colts on the clock. 1 minute, 40 seconds. Munnerlyn, there's our other guy. He was only a 78. Charlton Munnerlyn out of Stanford. That's the safety we had our eye on. There are like 3 different safeties, though, so we're okay for now. Colts taking him. Broncos are next on the clock. We are waiting till pick number 16 before we get our next pick.
Are now on the clock.
Vikings choose right end Frederick Fletcher. Or Broncos choose him. Vikings are on the clock.
The Ravens are now on the clock.
They choose Dexter Shade, the other one we wanted, who is an 81. So we're missing out on the guys we possibly wanted, but we definitely got the ones that we were looking for. We needed to shore up our middle linebackers. We need to get some offensive linemen now.
Bears are now on the clock.
Porter at a 79, the other free safety. So we're going to pause the draft here, and we're going to look at our board to see who's left. So the wide receivers are still there. Wide receivers are still there. Zuda's still there. Saunders is still there. And Brewer is still there. So all the safeties are gone, Curtis. So we might just grab Zuda and Brewer on the offensive line. Just because we have those 2 guys on 1-year deals. I'm inclined to take Brewer before I take Zuda, though. As Zuda has the C pluses instead of the B's that Brewer has. So we're probably going to take Brewer on our next pick at 16. Hamilton's still out there as a safety. Saunders is still there as a linebacker. So I'm going to take Saunders. I'm going to take Saunders just to shore up the linebackers again. And then the next 2 picks will be the offensive linemen. So that's the plan right now. Here we go. We're going to resume the draft. Bears, Curtis Elliott's Bears are on the clock right now.
The Steelers are now on the clock.
They take wide receiver Hinton. So your Bears took the person you wanted, Curtis. You wanted Hinton. The Bears took him. He is an 80 overall. Not too bad at all out of Oregon. Steelers currently on the clock. Andy and Steelers on the clock here.
The Titans are now
They take Hamilton, one of the free safeties. Titans on the clock. 3 more picks before we get to us. Hamilton, one of the free safeties we were looking at.
The Dolphins
Hinton.
are now on the clock.
Quentin Saunders, there's the guy we wanted. He's an 82. Oh, man, we missed out on Saunders. He goes to the Titans. 82. That is a very high number. He was probably the 3rd overall guy in the draft. Quentin Saunders, an 82 out of Ohio State.
Redskins are now on
Lester
the clock.
Grant, halfback, going to the Dolphins. We don't need a halfback. Redskins have the pick before us, and then it'll be our pick. Hinton, that wide receiver, was an 80. That's a very good spot.
Are now on the clock.
Taking the other wide receiver, Carter, Shakir Carter, at an 80. So let's see who's left. Barnes is up here at wide receiver. We're looking at first round talent here. Tight end, we're good at tight end. Is our third tight end is the one that Covington is a defensive tackle out of Minnesota. 22 out of Minnesota. Do we stick with our plan here and go for Brewer? I think we go Covington. As Brewer, we go 5 picks before we get to the next one, so we can try to take one of the other wide receivers, though we don't really need a wide receiver for a couple years. Or we go Clancy out of Clemson. He's fast, he's agile, but he's not strong. Clancy or Barnes? He's only a 4. He's a red zone threat. He's more somebody who's going to catch stuff in the red zone. Not quick. This is our dilemma. We got Clancy and Barnes. We have the 16th pick, then we wait 5 more picks. All of our safeties that we were looking at are gone. We did get our linebackers. We picked up 2 linebackers, so we don't really need another backer. More than likely, the ends that we pick up are going to be we got a left outside linebacker and a middle linebacker. Your Bears picked up the wide receiver you wanted, Hinton. Connor Vaughn was the highest ranked player I have ever seen. He went number 1 at an 85. The left outside linebacker was an 83 that we picked up. He's the second highest I've ever seen, as I think I've only seen 82s come out of these things. Right now, our dilemma is who we're taking now at 16. As Zuda's down here at 22, there are 5 picks before our next one. I'm more inclined to take, where'd he go? Brewer than I am Zuta on our offensive line. As Zuta has C pluses while Brewer's just B's. But I think one of them's going to last till 21. The other linebacker that we were looking at is gone. He was Saunders. He was an 82, so he was really good as well. But Connor Vaughn went first. I'm thinking we take Covington at defensive tackle. But there is a wide receiver, Barnes, out here as well. Barnes is 6'6", 230 pounds, 21. He's a red zone threat. Vertical jump is fantastic. Bench press is first. But his speed is 19th. He is a... So he's definitely not going to be a burner. We have Wilson. We have OBJ. Do we plug him in at the 4th wide receiver, or do we go for a defensive lineman? That's the question, Curtis. We got our 2 linebackers. I went for Barry at pick number 6. He was a 79 at a middle linebacker, so he's definitely going to start for us. The right guard, he was originally a first round. He was projected to go first round. Now he is projected to go 4th round, late 4th round talent. He was horrible in the combine. His first one was only a 10. He is a pass protector out of Boston College. So, yeah, right? Nope. So, one of these 2 guys are the ones we're looking at. Zuda, a pass protector out of Syracuse. He's top 6 except for the 40, which we don't really need a fast lineman. But he's 24 out of Syracuse. 6'7", while Brewer is 6'7", but he's 21 years old. We don't need a vertical jump out of our linemen, so 40th on that and the broad jump are not really a concern for me. So I'm inclined to take Brewer, but I'll take either one at 21. We can wait for 21 for those guys, as one of them should be there at 21 since they're picked way at the bottom here. But do we take Covington at a defensive tackle? 6'5", 22 years old, run stopper out of Minnesota. Or do we go with the wide receiver or the left end? Clancy is first in 3 categories here. 23 out of Clemson. Hendrickson is on his last year of his contract, so we could use a left end, as Hendrickson is going to want good money. So, or do we take Barnes, who is the red zone threat and possibly our 4th wide receiver, because we have OBJ, we have Wilson, we have Humphreys. I think we go left end just because Hendrickson's going to want to get paid, and he's only a 79. So I'm inclined to take Clancy here, as he did have a good combine. Pursuit is B, tackles B-, finesse moves is C+. So Clancy or Covington are the 2 choices. Tomlinson is on his contract year, but Tomlinson's been playing great. He had 11.5 sacks for us last year. We still have Onyemata on a long-term deal, so the need right now, I believe, is the left end, as we can get rid of Hendrickson after this year if Clancy is good enough. So that's who we're going to take. We're going to take Marvin Clancy, and then we'll take our offensive lineman after that. Yeah, Clancy, I agree. That's who we're going to go for. Let's see if it's a good pick.
Panthers are now on the clock.
It is a good pick. Marvin is ranked number 11 in true talent, and we drafted him at 16. He is an 80 overall and a quick. Good pick, Curtis. He is an 80 speed rusher, 77 power rusher, 76 run stopper. He is his stamina is not great. It's only a 75, but he's hardly ever going to get injured, as he has a 97 injury. Pursuit is 83. Speed is an 86. Acceleration is an 86. Agility is 82, and his tackle is an 82. So we had a good pick right here with Clancy. So we're doing good in the draft. We reached for the middle linebacker, but I don't think he would have been here at this pick, number 16. So we needed to pick him. But yeah, number 93 is what Clancy's going to be. Boom. Panthers on the clock. 4 more picks before we get to ours. We just got to hope that both the linemen survive till we get to pick number 21. Panthers currently on the clock. Why'd they do that?
Check my white cells, my red cells, and make sure I'm not pregnant.
Did you tell them about your low blood pressure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we took Clancy, left end.
The Falcons are now on the clock.
Okafor is who they take, a 74. Glad we didn't take him. Okafor at right end, only a 74. 17th pick in the draft. Falcons currently on the clock.
The Raiders are now on the clock.
A 73 cornerback out of Nevada. Glad we didn't go for him either, Curtis. We got a good pick with Clancy. So our first pick was an 83. That was the outside linebacker.
Are now on the clock.
Connor Townsend at a tight end. We did not need a tight end. So no big deal on that one. Connor Vaughn ended up being an 85. Highest I've ever seen a draft pick in this thing. Oh, we knew he was going to be good, but we did not need a quarterback.
Giants are now on the clock.
Another tight end going to the Seahawks. We are on the clock here. We're going to pick an offensive lineman here. Barnes is still out there. If Barnes is available, Curtis, I think in the second round, we're going to take Barnes. Let me know what you think here. Should we just go both of our linemen, Zuda and Brewer? Because I'm definitely picking Brewer here. Stay up there. So we're definitely picking Brewer at this spot, 21. We have one more pick in the draft. It is the 11th pick in the second round. So that's going to be our choice. Second round, it's either going to be Zuda or I think we go Barnes. We definitely need the offensive line help, as we have two guys that we signed in free agency for just 1-year deals. But we're definitely going Brewer here, as he's 21 out of USC. Zuda's, I think, 23. Now this is who we're going with this pick right here. He was projected to be an early second rounder, but he moved up to a late first rounder. We definitely need the offensive line help. We only sign guys for 1-year deals in free agency. And this is who we're going, Buck Brewer.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
He was ranked at 21 in true talent, and we drafted him at 21. He is a 79 out of USC, only 21 years old. So even if Zuda was a 79, this guy has 2 years on him to get better. He is a quick 312 pounds, 6'7", out of USC. Let's see his stats here. 96 stamina, 94 injury. His toughness is 85, and he's green on almost everything except for lead block and awareness. The wide receiver on the next pick. All right, I agree. 79. So we have our starting lineup set here. As we have Sitton, who we picked up in free agency, starting at right tackle. He is an 80 something. We'll put this guy. This guy will be our main backup. Brewer's going to be our main backup unless we plug him in at center. If we plug him in at center, our offensive line is going to look really, really good this year. I think that's what we'll do. We'll plug this guy in at center, making our lowest offensive lineman, I think, 79. And then we will go with Curtis Elliott's wide receiver in the second round. So we're going to end the first round here. Just going to let everybody pick the rest of the draft here in the first round. Chiefs are on the clock. We're going to see if they take our wide receiver before we get to the second round here. So we just got to hope your wide receiver stays to pick number 11. Nope. Very next pick, Curtis. Barnes is gone at the very next pick of the Chiefs. So I knew he was a good pick. He's an 81. We did need the offensive line help, though, more than we needed the wide receivers, as OBJ's a 98.
Are now on the clock.
Ooh, that was a horrible pick at right guard. There's the right guard, Curtis. I'm going to pause it here. There's the right guard we were looking at, Radway. He dropped down to a 4th round talent. You can see why. He is only a 72. So that was the guy who was projected to be a 1st rounder, dropped down to a 4th round talent, and you can definitely see why. 72, but our wide receiver is gone. We definitely needed the offensive line help, as we are going to plug the guy we got in at 79 into the starting center position, leaving our offensive line the lowest number our starters are going to have is going to be a 79. Cornerback, 73 to the Saints. So we did really good in the draft this year. We got our middle linebacker of the future. So Lee and the guy we got are both going to be 79s. We shored up the linebacking core with an 82. or 83. I can't remember what he was. Lions, C. Rogers Lions taking Arnold at the other right end spot at a 72. Uh-oh, C. Rogers. Not a good pick there. Browns currently on the clock at pick number 26. They take Zuda. He was only a 76, so we definitely picked the right offensive lineman, Brewer, as Zuda's a 76, and he was 2 years older. Yeah, I went on at like 10:45. There's another right tackle, Medlock, he's only a 70. I got on at 10:45, went over the roster, started the draft right around 11 o'clock. I wanted to get on a little early just so people had a little bit of time to get on the stream.
The Saints are now on.
There's Covington, the defensive tackle we were looking at, going to the Rams at a 76. So I'm liking the picks we made so far. We did stretch with our middle linebacker, but he was not going to be there at 16.
The Patriots are now on the clock.
Saints taking Banks. I can't really see as that he's a strong safety. Banks. Man, that Saints color is really bright. He is a 74, so we're looking good on our picks. Patriots on the clock. Who do they take?
The Cowboys are now on the clock.
Wide receiver Butler is a 73. Cowboys currently on the clock. It was the Cowboys versus the Texans in the Super Bowl, and it looks like the Texans won the Super Bowl over the Cowboys.
The Texans are now on the clock.
Cowboys take cornerback Priester at a 75. Not a bad pick. Delaware State cornerback Rod Priester at a 75. Super Bowl champion Texans are on the clock next before we start. They take Torrin Armstrong, cornerback 72. That ends the first round. We are now currently in the second round with the Bills starting over again. Bills are the one who picked up Connor Vaughn at an 85. They instantly upgrade at quarterback, taking an 85. Govea at right outside linebacker. So we're going to have an interesting pick at pick number 11 here, as most of the guys look like they are mid-70s right now.
The 49ers are now on the clock.
Jaron Strong, that was one of the strong safeties we were looking at. He is only a 75. Cardinals picking up Strong out of Florida Atlantic. Our next and last pick is going to be pick number 11 in round 2. Nick Roque, defensive tackle at a 75. Spidey's Jets are on the clock here. I think they picked up one of the guys we were looking at. So once we make our pick, I'm going to sim to the end of the draft, and then we're going to look over the draft. An 80, halfback Rodriguez Tate. We only have 2 running backs right now. I was just going to pick up one in free agency once the draft is done, like we did last year with Ty Montgomery. But Rodriguez Tate is a good pick out of Georgia.
The Packers are now on the clock.
As the Jets got rid of Le'Veon Bell, trading him to the, or getting rid of him, going to the Cowboys. Bucks take wide receiver Harmon at a 74. You can see us. It goes Packers, Colts, Broncos, Vikings, Ravens, and then us at the Giants. Yeah, I'm going to pause the draft when we get there. We'll see who's on the board. We could possibly trade the pick. That was something I was thinking of as well. We're on the same train of thought here, Curtis, as we'll see what is available. As it's not looking good. There are only 74s coming up. There's another of the middle linebackers. He is only a 74. So once the draft is done, we'll recap the draft and go over our roster. As I did that in the beginning of the video, but
The Vikings are now on the clock.
Cornerback at 75 for the Broncos. Not a whole lot left. There was that running back at an 80, but most of these guys are 74, 75s right now.
The Ravens are now on the clock.
76 defensive tackle. The last one's in a green here. Ravens pick, and then it'll be our pick, and we'll pause the draft again. Who will the Ravens take here?
The Giants.
Ravens take Evan Lee, wide receiver out of Baylor. We're going to pause the draft. Let's see who's on the board here that we were still looking at. So Casey Wilcox, all quarterbacks basically in the top 5. There were a ton of quarterbacks that were projected to go first round. I believe Jackson Haley made it all the way up to an 89 after starting out last year at a 78. So we're going down. Nobody really looking good so far, Curtis. Here's another outside linebacker that we had start up. B- at hit power, B- pursuit, C+ finesse moves. 22 years old, had 2 stars, so he's definitely agile. He was the 6th linebacker in speed. We're going to go to our draft board here and see who we had left here. So the rest were 3rd round projections. The only one we really had our eye on was that linebacker. So I'm going to go back and we're going to see what trades are available. We're not going to pick any of them right away, but we'll see what's available. The other trades that they wanted to make were horrible. So Johnny Waldeck's Bengals, your Bears just want to trade picks and go from the 11th pick from the 48th. That is a horrible trade, and that is even next year's draft, a 2nd rounder. Your Bears are out of their minds. I mean, it's a great pick. It's a great trade for them. It's a horrible trade for us. Johnny Waldeck Bengals are wanting to trade next year's 2nd rounder and next year's 3rd rounder. Not liking that too much either. 3 picks from the Titans, 1, 2 this year's draft and 1 next year's draft, all 3rd and 4th rounders. Yeah, take the linebacker. That's what I'm thinking as well. These trades are horrible right here. I checked out the trades for the 5th and 6th pick as well, and they were horrible as well. Nobody wants to give up anything good for the picks we were doing. Yeah, they're all next year's 2nd rounders. Yeah, we're going to take that linebacker. I agree with you, Curtis. Busy. There is a cornerback. But yeah, we're going to go linebacker. I like this guy. He's not too bad. He's probably like a mid-70s. Eugene Hardison, 22 years old, speed rusher out of Missouri. That's who we're going to take, folks. Let's see what we get.
The Steelers are now on the clock.
We reached. Oh no, we reached. He is ranked 71 in true talent, and we drafted him at 43. That's all right. He's just a normal at 74. He's going to be a backup. We definitely needed the linebacker help, but it's saying we reached. He has a 95 stamina, 88 injury, 31 in press coverage. It's a good thing he's not going to be doing too much press coverage. 82 speed, 88 acceleration. He's all right. We could have done a lot worse. We didn't really need any of the other positions. So 74, that's what Carter is, and Carter played really well for us. So we're going to skip ahead to the end of the draft here, as that was all of our picks. We're simming round 3, simming round 4. Yeah, and we did really good in the rest of the draft. That one's just a backup. Yeah, prospect, I'm not mad about it. Like, that's who we would have picked anyway. I didn't really like any of the other guys except for, I think, that one. So we're going to do the draft recap. That is the end of the draft. So Gibson was the one. That's the guy who did not participate in the combine. Gibson, he ended up being an 83 overall. He's a quick 83 overall, 21 years old, out of Georgia. I was really happy with this pick. He is going to be number 55 for us. Run stopper is an 83. He fits our scheme. 74 speed rush, 74 pass coverage, 72 power rusher. He is the 11th ranked outside linebacker in the league, and he's still a rookie. So at an 83, he was I believe he was the second ranked player in the entire draft behind Connor Vaughn, and we got him at pick number 5. So we definitely did good with Christopher Gibson. I was a little worried because he didn't participate in the combine, but his stamina is 95, his injuries are 94. Look at his traits. He's a balanced linebacker, conservative ball play, big hitter, swim move is good, bull rush is good, he's got a high motor. I was really happy with this pick, as he was definitely the second best player in the draft, and we got him at pick number 5. Already the 11th ranked outside linebacker in the league. He's in the top 7% of outside linebackers, and he's only a rookie. He hasn't even played a down in the NFL. Our next pick was Dixon Berry, who was that middle linebacker, 21 years old, out of Penn State. He was ranked 43rd on our board. They did say we reached with him, as he was in True Talent. I think he was 20. He might have been in the teens at True Talent, and we picked him at pick number 6, but I did not want him to be gone by the time we got to the 16th pick in the draft. He is a 79 and a quick. So he is the same as Deron Lee, but we're going to plug him into the starting spot just to get him that experience. 79 run stopper, 77 field general, 75 pass coverage, rookie out of Penn State, 21 years old. The 31st ranked middle linebacker in the league, so he would have been a starter on any team, as he is the 31st ranked middle linebacker. He's a big hitter, balanced on everything, balanced linebacker style, balanced ball play, balanced penalty. His stamina is a 95 and his injury is an 86, so it's a good thing we have Deron Lee, as he might be injured, but we're willing to take that chance, as he is plugging into the starting spot right away. Speed 85, tackle 84, block shedding 83, pursuit 89, acceleration 84, and strength 84. So he's going to be good for us. He's in the top 14% of middle linebackers. Definitely wanted this guy, as good middle linebackers in this game are hard to find, as well as good offensive linemen. And he's only 21, so he's going to be with us for a while. And then I think you came on when we picked Clancy. He was an 80, so we went 83, 79, 80, and 79. So we're going to go and see what everybody picked here. I'm pretty sure it gives us the NFL. So here's Connor Vaughn. He was an 85, Curtis. And he's only a normal. I thought for sure he was going to be a superstar or a star. But this is the highest I've ever seen anybody go in the draft. He is an 85. 21 years old, out of Nebraska. I thought for sure. So our other guys are going to pass him up, as he does not earn X. Yeah, Doug Flutie number. Joseph Lloyd was the linebacker we wanted to take at number 5. He is a quick and an 80. 23 years old, out of Georgia. So I'm actually happy that we did not get him, as we ended up with Gibson at an 83, who ended up being a much better pick here, as they're both quicks, and Gibson's 2 years younger. Summers at right end was the 3rd pick of the draft. He is a star at 81. We weren't really looking at him, but that's a great pick for the Niners, a star at right end. This was the next one we were looking at before Gibson. 21 years old out of Clemson. The Jets took him. He is an 81 and a quick. So Gibson's even better than this guy. And that's who we took, Gibson. So we were thinking, after Lloyd got picked, Hubbard was my next pick for linebacker. And Gibson ended up being better than both of them, as Lloyd's an 80, Hubbard's an 81, and Gibson ended up being an 83. That was pick number 5. Munnerlyn was the safety that I wanted to get. He only ended up being a 78. It was either Munnerlyn or Shade. Munnerlyn was my first choice at strong safety. He's a quick at 78. Going to the Colts. Frederick Fletcher is an 82. He is going to be a right end opposite of Von Miller. Unless Von Miller retired. Von Miller might have retired. Dexter Shade was the other safety we were looking at, Curtis. Him and Ponder. Shade is a star at 81. Very nice. Going to the Vikings. So those were... That was one of the guys we were looking to take at 16. Ponder's the other one. He was a 79. He's a star for the Ravens. Of course the Ravens get a star safety. That's what they do. And then your guys taking the wide receiver you were looking at, Hinton. He is a star at 80. So Hinton was a great choice, Curtis. Unfortunately, we were not able to get him, but your Bears did. So you can at least take solace in that your Bears picked up the guy that you wanted. 21 years old, rookie out of Oregon, going to the Chicago Bears. Hamilton was one of the other safeties we were looking at. There were 3 safeties on the board that we liked. Shade, Hamilton, and Munnerlyn. Hamilton goes to the Steelers. He is just a quick 21 years old out of Penn State. Saunders, this was the other one we were going to take. Linebacker at 16. This is pick number 13. An 82. He's a superstar. Get out of here. Saunders, an 82 superstar. Going to the Titans. Wow. So had we take Saunders at 5, we would have had a superstar, but he's 24 years old and Gibson's 21. So I'm really happy because Gibson's an 83. While he's not a superstar, he will be higher than this guy at the age of 24. So it's kind of a push on that one. Grant was a halfback. He was an 80, going to the Dolphins. Shakir Carter was one of the wide receivers we were looking at. He was in star. He's an 80. He's going to the Redskins, who picked right before us. And then you came on where we picked up Clancy at an 80. Left end quick. And that is catching you up on the draft. You were there for the rest. Everybody started picking horribly after that. 74, 73s, but I'm happy with who we got. We picked up the players that we needed. Gibson at an 83. Barry at a 79. Clancy's going to replace Hendrickson. We are not going to keep Hendrickson now. As Clancy is an 80, he'll still be on his rookie contract for 4 years. So we can drop Hendrickson or we can trade Hendrickson, as this is his contract year. Brewer is going to plug in nicely as our starting center. Yeah, we did really well. We got everybody from here up is at least a 79. They're all going to be starters, as Gibson is going to move over to the right outside linebacker, as we have Porter at left outside linebacker. So Gibson's going to be our right outside linebacker. Porter's going to be our left. They're both 83s. Barry's going to start over Deron Lee at middle linebacker. And Brewer is going to be our starting center, as we have our last year's draft pick starting at left tackle as well. And then once our one-year guys, once we get rid of them, this guy's going to be our starting right tackle. So he'll start at center this year, and then he'll move over to right tackle next year. Hopefully he'll be an 80 by then. But yeah, we did great. Hardison's going to be one of our backup linebackers. He'll be okay for now. Play ball, yep. Let's check out the roster, just to show you how everybody upgraded here. Haley going up to an 89. Only 22 years old. Haley is a superstar. We picked him up last year. He's currently the 7th ranked quarterback in the league. So Haley is up there. We got our superstar last year. We do need to pick up a running back in free agency, as Gallman is in his contract year. But Barkley, we have him signed for a few years. Penny's our fullback. We signed him long term. OBJ, Humphreys, and Wilson. This is why I didn't want to get another wide receiver, because he was just going to be all the way down here at 4th. Quandre Henderson, we picked him up. But Beckham, Humphreys, and Wilson are our guys at wide receiver. Ellison's on a contract year, but he's only a 69 down here. So we had Ingram and Ty. Ingram's on a contract year as well, so he's going to want to get paid. We are definitely re-signing Ingram, as Ingram has been a cornerstone of our offense here. So Ingram's going to want to get paid. Left tackle, here we are. Lofton is an 82. Brewer's a 79. Brewer's going to be our center this year. Salter's making like $10 million a year, and we are never going to use him. We cannot trade him away, as nobody is going to want him. He's still on us. He's making $10 million this year and $13 million this year. That is basically dead money that we are never going to get any use out of. Will Hernandez is going to start at left guard, and Sitton is going to move over to right tackle this year. He's an 81. We signed him for 1 year. He's 34 years old. Pulley was our starting center. He's going to be our backup center. Muhort's just solid at 79. He has not moved up. He has not moved down. He has been solid the couple years we've had him. And Dotson's going to be our backup to everybody, as we signed him for 1 year as well. He's a 75. He will make a solid backup for when people get tired or people get hurt. Clancy is our draft pick. He is an 80. Hendrickson is on the last year of his deal. We'll probably end up trading him away, as we don't need him anymore. BJ Hill. Akwara is going to back everybody up, with Man backing them up. So we picked up Akwara in free agency last year, so we definitely don't need Hendrickson anymore. We'll trade him away. Tomlinson had 11.5 sacks last year. This is his contract year. We are definitely going to re-sign him. Onyemata is our other tackle, with Puna Ford backing them up. Linebackers is where we stepped it up. Gibson, we might just move Porter over to the right linebacker spot, but Gibson is who we picked up in the draft. He instantly becomes a starter. Gruger Hill we picked up in free agency. He'll be a solid backup. But Porter or Gibson, it's going to be the choice of who we want to stay at left outside linebacker. Porter might just rotate over to the right side. Middle linebacker, we had Deron Lee already. Bowman's been steadily declining, but Barry moves right up to the starter spot. This is why we reached and took Barry, even though he was number like 46 on our draft board. Good middle linebackers, especially young ones, are hard to find in this league. So while we reached with Barry, it was a good reach, as he instantly plugs in as a starter at 21 years old. Right outside linebacker really doesn't matter, as we are moving Porter or Gibson over. These guys are definitely not going to matter as they are just roster spots. Jenkins is actually moving down a spot. We're going to plug Haley in at the third cornerback. Jenkins is in his contract year. We are not re-signing Jenkins as we have Williams, Mitchell, and Haley. 3 good cornerbacks. Safety spot. Bannister was out of New Mexico. He's just a roster filler right here as we are using Collins and Hal. Hal is in his contract year. He's an 89. He's 28. We'll probably re-sign him for a few more years, hoping that Woolfolk gets better. Woolfolk's out of Western Kentucky. He played pretty good last year. He got a couple interceptions. We need him to get up to an 80, though, so that when Hal retires, he can just plug right into that spot. Rosas, we signed long-term. After dropping him, we re-signed him in free agency. He played pretty well for us as well. Had a couple block kicks. We got rid of Dixon, Curtis. Dixon was a 79, but he wanted like almost $2 million a year. Borquez is out in New Mexico. He's a 72. He's only 24 years old. He's got a couple years left on his contract, and then we'll probably re-sign him as well. Hopefully he will move on up as we don't punt the ball a whole lot, so I didn't need to pay somebody $2 million to do it when Borquez is going to do it for less than $1 million. If we were punting all the time, I would probably think about keeping Dixon, but we're going Borquez. And that is our roster for next year. Next year, 2021, we have 3 first-round draft picks. We had 4 this year. We have 3 first-round draft picks next year. 1 from Buffalo, who had the first pick in the draft this year, and Cincinnati, Johnny Waldeck's Bengals, as well as our own pick, and then the normal 2nd, 3rd, 4th. We traded away the 5th, but we have the 6th and 7th round picks. We're definitely going to trade Hendrickson, so we'll add draft picks with that. I'm still thinking of trading Janoris Jenkins, and we might try to just get anything for Nate Salter at this point. He is dragging down our cap, making $10 million this year, $13 million this year, and he's never going to play since we upgraded our offensive line. And yes, the team is looking really good. I agree. It should be a good year. We're going to keep going with this. We are definitely going to do Bengals rebuild in Madden 20, but we've started this. We're going to keep going. I want to win a Super Bowl with this team. I believe we can do it. And the team's looking good so far this year. That's where we're going to end it, Curtis. I appreciate you being here, brother. Appreciate you being a part of this. We're going to move along to the preseason week number 1. We're going to advance the week. I don't play the preseason, but it gets our guys lots of experience. Tomorrow we are opening a box of a hot corner box on the channel, so that should be good. We're moving along with 1990 tops this week, and we started our NHL franchise, or not franchise, but my Road to the Show type thing, and then we're going to be playing MLB 19 Road to the Show as well. Curtis, tomorrow 11 a.m. Mountain Time, everybody's golf finals. Hopefully it will send you a notification. If not, please remember 11 a.m. Mountain Time. If you can't be there, I understand. We'll catch you on the replay. This is one of the toughest courses we played. I think I finished plus 10 on that course last time. So I'm going to sign on probably about 10:45 just to see if it'll send you a notification, but we're definitely going to start playing at 11 tomorrow. I have tomorrow off, so we'll probably do that, and then later on do a Road to the Show with the baseball. We'll get that started. But should be fun. Hopefully we can do better than plus 10 that we did last time. Appreciate you being here, brother, and we will catch you guys later. That was the draft, ending year number 2 for our Madden 19 rebuild, on to year 3. Take care, everybody. Have a great night, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.